Hey there, everybody. I'm starting a new project. I haven't got this project done yet, but because I'm out of welding wire. But I'm gonna start the next project. Next project's this deal right here. It's gonna be a, I don't know if you'd call it a blast furnace or cupola, or there's probably many different things, but it's for melting aluminum, brass, and I'm gonna try to make it to where it'll melt steel also. Not that I'll need that much, but I sure wouldn't mind melting oh crud, you know, copper, brass. I had one I made, I don't know, it's been several years ago now. I can't tell you, it's probably been 10 years now. It was a lot smaller than this. It was made out of basically a 5-gallon bucket, and worked real well. I melted crap loads of stuff, and then basically all I did is took, you know, scrap aluminum that I had, you know, things like, well, maybe not that wheel, but you know, you got that engine block and so forth, and so I melted them down, and I made little, oh crud, I don't know if I'll be able to get to them right this second, but there was, oh, there, well, you can maybe see them. Little big old, just bunches of ingots, I'll call them. They're just basically out of muffin tins, so that I could, I was going to make a lathe and just different things, but I didn't have this shed that I'm in right now, and all I had was that chicken coop, and one, it was a pain in the butt to drag that heavy thing out, and you know, we were here on and off, you know, so when we were here, we were here, when we weren't, but we weren't here full time, and it broke down. So and everything was homemade. I made the liner. It was, let's say, I think it was fire brick, clay, some fire brick, chunks, sand, whatever, and then it doesn't really matter, but it was this one's going to be based off of gosh, is it Dave Genry, I think is his name, Dave Genry's furnace. You know, there was a publication, it hadn't been around for quite a few years. It was called Lindsay Publication, I believe, and amazing, like a magazine, and it just had several books, everything, anything, just tons of old stuff in it, but whatever. That's what I'm going to make out of this here thing. I saved this from a neighbor's junkyard, because I thought, well, it might measure out not too bad, but I went ahead and washed it. I've had this now, I don't know, a long time, but I want to melt those handles, melt these handles off for this thing, and I was just going to dig a hole in, you know, I don't know if I remember showing you those handles, but it's all setting in there, the clays. I'm ready to mold it, or make a pattern, but my friend said, hey, you know, I was just going to take and use my scoop that I made for the four-wheeler, and just going to take, let's say, this bucket that I'm setting on, and put it down on the ground, and then pile dirt around it with, excuse me, my fan and everything in it, and melt some metal. And my friend said, I sure wouldn't mind just seeing you build one. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build one of these, and there's the start of it. I'm kind of letting it dry, but as you can see, it's bleeding water. But I'm going to go ahead and do some measuring. I think it's dry enough. I'm going to cut it in 3 sections. I'll probably cut the base down because I don't want it that tall, and because I'm going to put it's going to be on a stand, but I'm going to cut this in 3 sections. You know, there'll be a base, and then a middle, and then the top, and I'm going to have the top so that I can, let's say, step on a lever right here, and it'll pick the top up, and then I can swing it off to the side and be able to throw metal in or scoop stuff or whatever. And then I'm going to be able to step on another, there'll be another bar out, let's say out here, to where I can pick it all the way up and pick the whole middle of the belly, the lid, and just the base will stay down on the deal, and be able to reach in there and with my bare hands and grab the molten metal and be able to pour it that way. It's a design, like I said, from Dave Jennery, and the other ones aren't too bad when you pick them up from the tops. You know, that's what I did for my other one, and you know, it's not all that bad, but I thought, boy, it'd be nice if I could just reach in the side, and so I like that design, so I thought I'd build one. But I'm going to build that, and I'm going to build a new fan, and so forth. So I hope you everybody kind of enjoys this thing. I know I'm not the most entertaining person, but yeah, I hope they enjoy this. I'm gonna go ahead and start to do some measurements and see, you know, cut it open, because there's a bladder in there. This is a old thing, or old water heater, or pressure tank, but you know, I don't know. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's get started. All right, I went ahead and like, I'm gonna cut this much off. These are rounded, you know, like this top, you know, it's just a pressure tank. So I'm just kind of measured into there and see about where the bottom is. I'm about a ½ inch up, and then I decided this is where I was going to put that line, and then I decided this is where I'm going to put that line. It gives me, I think, 16 inches in the center here. If I filled this all the way up to the top and all the way up to the top, I'll probably, like wherever this is, I'll probably hold it down a little bit, and I'm going to line it with, oh crud, I don't know what the heck they call it, but there's like a fiberglass stuff. I'm going to take and line, it's like 1 inch thick. So here's my plan, is I'm going to line the whole darn thing with 1 inch thick stuff, and then I'm going to line the whole thing with 1 inch thick, maybe a little more, I don't know yet. I'll have to figure out what my inside dimensions will end up being. But the refractory cement, that way maybe this metal will hold up a little longer. I know with that bucket, I mean, good God, the outside of it would get, oh man, it's real hot. You know, I can't really remember, 6, 7, 8, 900 degrees. It'd get hot. And I thought, and eventually I used a metal bucket. Eventually the bucket started breaking down, and then the liner started breaking down too, and that's the reason I got rid of it, or I threw it away. Well, actually I didn't throw it away, I just threw it in the ditch down it. Well, not the metal bucket, but the inside junk. But my thought is, if I put that glass liner in here, that it would shield the heat from this outside metal. Maybe it'd last a little longer before I had to rebuild it. And if I use the refractory cement on the inside, it'd be super durable. But yeah, that's kind of my thought. But I'm going to cut this open now. I'll probably go ahead and cut the end off first, and that way, and then just cut this part off, and then cut this part off, and then we'll go from there. Sorry for anybody that wants to watch me do it with the cutoff wheel, because that's what I'm going to use. I'm just going to use a cutoff wheel and try to follow my lines the best I can, and go from that route. So let's cut her open and see what it'll look like next. I almost forgot. I was going to show you what I did here. I just used these squares, and I just cheated. Let's say this went to there, and I could hold the edge up and hit this weld there. I figured the weld, this is not set for there, but I figured the weld would be even. So I just kind of rolled this along like so and marked it. And the same down here. to measure that. And the same here, just held it along the end and just rolled it around. Sorry, I thought I'd show you what I did there. All right. Now, if anybody really wanted to know what one of these kind of look like inside, of course I cut this rubber thing apart. I'll have to dig it out, I expect. There's the other piece that's up in there. Looks as though it clamps inside there. And a little metal piece in there. I guess I didn't know that was in there. Maybe this won't work that well. I'll have to cut that out too. But yuck, look at all this. Might have to let it dry out a little bit. I should have maybe did it outside. But there's the 3 pieces. So the start of it. I'm gonna take it down there to the hydrant and wash it out and so forth. So I'll be back. All right, there's everything that's inside of one. I've never been in one of these before, but here it is. I'm gonna have to clean it up, obviously, and cut this off, weld that. I gotta cut a hole in here, and then I'm gonna cut a bigger hole down here. That isn't all that big. I wanna cut a hole in the bottom for, you know, any spillage or anything, and then I gotta cut that piece out, so I'll have to mark that and so forth. But I'm gonna let it dry and then go to cutting it apart. I was gonna use a long time ago, I mean, we're talking 10 years probably, this here. This is what I was going to use. It's pretty big metal, and I got it when I was working out in the oil industry. And I thought, you know, the other one, like I said, the other one's call it a barrel maybe, but the outside skin, you know, get super hot, and then I don't know if you guys ever mess with metal, but you know, you get it really hot and it starts rusting. And so it broke down, so I thought I'll get that great big thick stuff. It didn't cost me anything. I just cut it off end of a piece of pipe and toted that around for 6 months or so, you know, until I got back home. But then I stumbled upon that fiber stuff and thought, wow, you know, that I don't really need the thick metal if I get that fiber stuff, because it's an insulation and the heat won't transfer. So that's why I'm gonna use this. I would turn around and use brand new metal, but after I clean this up, maybe I'll wish I did. But I have this, and that's, I'd imagine a lot of people might have something like this. I mean, I've seen other people make them out of propane tanks, so why not a water pressure bladder, whatever the heck they call these things. So that's what I got to do now. I got to clean these up, and I'm gonna let them dry because they're pretty yucky. I might hit the ends to run off some of the sharpness, but there we go. So far so good. Well, I don't know what the heck happened, but some got real crunchy in there. Started smoking. Looks like the bushings or brushes are still okay, but looks like this one you know, took a dump. Frickin' DeWalt. Yeah, I don't know now. Oh well. I got some of it cleaned up, and I'm gonna start marking out my holes and then trying to figure out how to cut them out. And I got the inside barrel part cleaned out. You see that little flat thingy right there? I just cut it real close to the weld, and I'm just gonna leave it like that. I don't know if I quite like this metal. It's not really what I'm looking for, but I think I'll keep rolling with it and seeing what it turns out like. Anyway, thanks guys. Just in case some of you are wanting to know, inside diameter on here is 15 and a quarter. So that leaves me, what if I put an inch of concrete and an inch of foam or insulation, what, about 13 inches roughly, something like that. That should hold, you know, on number 8 Crucible, probably even a bigger one. That's what I'm kind of hoping, is I'm hoping I can make at least a, I don't know, I definitely want to make something so I can have at least 25 pounds. So I figure I'm gonna kind of make this up so you can kind of see. I'm gonna be coming in, I don't know yet where, but I'll be coming in the side. Well, it'd actually be down here probably. In this piece, be coming in the side, and about like that, you know. So wherever that concrete, wherever that, I'll make an inside form or something, but you know, go in something like that, and so that way the flame goes in a circle, or I'm kind of hoping anyway. And you know, if I bring that in, whatever it's was going to be, you know, that thing will be in here, and I'll dip this down just a little bit so I can have like a little dish. I think I'm going to do it'll keep for anything that if this pot in here would break, or crucible would break, that if it broke and this was just flat, it would maybe spill out the side. So I'm kind of hoping that's why I'm going to probably cut a 2-inch hole probably in the bottom, you know, something like that, so it can drain through, and make me a little, what would they call them, plenum maybe, I don't know what they call them, but let's say basically a brick to set on top of that. I'll make something so that the crucible can sit on top of it. But that's kind of where I'm at so far. I do some more, I don't know, figuring out. I still got to get some more pipe and so forth, and I'm going to build a new fan. The fan I have is for a boat dock, and it blows up the floats under a boat, so it picks them out, and it's kind of noisy. So I think I'm just going to make me a fan for it, and I may go ahead at first, just make a propane burner. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to burn charcoal in it. I'm only going to be melting aluminum, so no need to, you know, I don't know. But I'll probably make a propane one to start, but I think I'm going to finish out. I think I want to make something to burn diesel. But here's the next piece. We'll set up there, you know, like so. And I'm going to make, like I said, a little handle that I can go like this and pick it up. And so that way I can reach in, you know, with my bare hands and grab that white hot metal and be able to pour it out, you know. I mean, it shouldn't burn me at all. And then the lid, of course, the lid will set up there like so. And I want to make so I can step on it and pick it up a little bit, and then be able to spin it out of the way so I can get down in there. And yeah, that's where I'm at so far, I guess. Leave me a comment if you think I'm really kind of, I don't know if I quite like this being so thin, but I did use the 5-gallon bucket, and the 5-gallon bucket was, oh gosh, look at that cat. Look at that cat wondering, that pigeon wondering whether they should get a water or not. Hopefully that's the new shop cat, Drop. He seems to be getting along pretty good with everybody. It's a good thing, because, you know, he might not make it long, but if he didn't, but, you know, he'd have to find a new home. But I don't know if I quite like this metal here. It's real thin, but with that insulation and then that concrete inside there, I think it'd be pretty protected, because it took, oh good gosh, I don't know how long I had that other furnace I made. I mean, it was several years, and it just had a homemade refractory in it, and it lasts a long time. So I'm going to probably use this and just go with it. But tell me what you think so far. I'll try to get back onto this. I don't know. I got to go get a new windshield for my car. And that's like $280. And so that probably blows me out of the water of getting, you know, any, I don't know. I'd have to figure out, see what I can actually spend, but I might not be able to get any of that and yet. So that's why I kind of started on this. I mean, it doesn't take nothing to cut it up and do some measuring. So this is kind of free, basically. But let me know what you think of this. You know what you think. Just drop me a line. Just want to say thank y'all for tuning in. Oh, look. Oh, is he going to go after him? Hey, drop. I better throw a rock at him. I don't want to have to. Oh, look. Here we go. Maybe I teach him that way. Anyway, I don't want him killing pigeons. But anyway, thanks for dropping in. I hope you like the video. And I don't know. Eventually, I'll get on that cart to make it lift automatic. But I'm really wanting this. And at the moment. So, you know, I don't know. Thanks a lot for watching anyway. Love you all. Hope you have a great and awesome weekend, and see you on the flip side. A little behind the scene. Look at how dirty this old sun got. Oh man, what a mess.